Okay, classwork 11. Factor those. So factor those expressions. Let's see 1-8. So we have a trinomial, right? So first, we want to factor out the common factors, which means the factors in the common factors in each one of them in 3 terms. So we see obviously 5x, right? So factor out 5x. Then 10x cubed divided by 5x. We're left with 2x squared. Then 15x squared divided by 5x, that's 3x. Then minus 25x divided by 5x, that's minus 5. First step, so we factor out the common factors. Second step, we want to see if we can factor out 2x squared plus 3x minus 5. Yes, indeed. So keep writing 5x. 2x squared is only one way to factor. So we want to factor as 2x plus 5 and x minus 1. Because negative 5 only has one way to factor it. Right? Negative 5 can be factored as positive 1, negative 5, or negative 5, positive 1. In this case, we want to get the middle term of 3x. So middle term 3x is our goal. So we want to factor this way because the middle terms will give us 5x plus negative 2x, bingo, 3x. Let's see B. Same thing, want to factor out the common factors. We see negative 3xy is a common factor of 3 terms. So once we do that, we have x, right? Then minus 2. 6xy divided by negative 3xy. We don't really have to factor out the negative, actually, because we have 2 terms are positive, 1 term be negative. So let's factor out the 3xy. Then the first one we have negative x. Second one, 6xy divided by 3xy is 2. Then plus y. That's it. So 3xy times negative x plus 2 plus y. Let's see 2a. 2a will have 4 members. Remember, with 4 members, we want to group 2 by 2. We want to group these 2, group those 2. So we factor out the common factors in each group. So the first one, obviously, x squared is a common factor. Then we have x minus 2 left. The second group, we see 5 is common factor. So we factor out, we have x minus 2. Right, 2 groups. So in each group, we see a common factor, x minus 2, x minus 2. That means we can factor out x minus 2 among those 2 groups. So x minus 2 times x squared plus 5. X squared plus 5 cannot be factored anymore. Well, x minus 2 is a linear factor, cannot be factored anymore. So that's it. Okay, by the way, forget about this by grouping. Okay, just factor it. Forget about by grouping. But it's okay, because we group 2 by 2. Now let's see this one. We group those 2, we group those 2. So we factor out x as a common factor for the first 2. So we have y plus 1 left. Then the second group, we want to factor out the minus 3. And we see we have y plus 1 left. Now among 2 groups, each one has y plus 1 as a factor. So that means we can factor out the common factor, y plus 1. So factor out y plus 1. What's left for the first group? X. What's left for the second group? Minus 3. So now it's factored as y plus 1 times x minus 3. Let's see 3. We have trinomial. right? So x squared minus 10x plus 21. Middle term is negative. The constant term 21 is positive. So that means we want to factor as x minus x minus. So in this case, we see the minus 3 and minus 7, right? Because negative 3 times negative 7 is 21, positive 21. Negative 3 plus negative 7 is negative 10. So negative 3 times x minus 7, right? Let's see B. B, we see 5 as a common factor. So we factor out 5 first. Factor out 5, we have x squared minus 2x minus 8, right? 5 times negative 2x and negative 10x, 5 times negative 8, negative 40. Now we try to factor the trinomial, the inside the parentheses. So think about two factors of negative 8 add together to be negative 2. So that has to be x minus 4 and x plus 2, right? Because the middle term comes from those two terms. Negative 4 times x, negative 4x, x times 2, positive 2x, add together, that's negative 2x. Now let's see C. C, well, 5, so everything is positive. If it's factorable, has to have two factors. There's only one way to factor out 5 as two factors, positive factors, which is 1 and 5. But let me just write that down. So that's only one way I write up here. X plus 1, x plus 5, right? So every term is positive. You see, all the terms are positive. So that means 5 can be factored out as, if this is factorable, it has to be factored as two positive factors. But the positive factors of 5, only 1 and 5 itself. But if we factor this way, 1 times x, 1x. X times 5, 5x. That adds up to be 6x. It's not 2x, but we have 2x. So what's the conclusion? The conclusion is this is a prime expression. It only has a factor of 1 and itself. Now let's see 3. 3, we have to play with factors of 3 and 3x squared, 3, and 20, constant term, 20. Well, 3x squared is only one way to factor out. And every one is positive, so there's 3 plus something, 3x plus something, and x plus something. If it's factorable, it can only be factored as this. And we just have to find out those two numbers. We just have to find out this guy and this guy. So that's two factors of 20. Well, factors of 20, so 20 can be factored as a 2 times 10, can be factored as a 4 times 5, and can be factored as 1 times 20. Right, positive. Anything else? I think that's it. 2 times 10, 4 times 5, 1 times 20. So which two factors we put inside the parentheses to get 17, to get the middle term 17? That's our goal. 17x comes from multiplying those two, multiply these two. Oh, this one, right? Do you see 4 and 5? If we put a 5 here, 3 times 5, 15. And then, hello? Sorry, hold on. I'm on the meeting. Hold on a second. Let me stop the record. Let me, you know what? Yeah. So what time? What time? Yeah, I'm on a Zoom meeting. So what time? Just tell me time. I'm sorry? 7:30. Okay, let me finish in 10 minutes. Sorry. So we choose 4 and 5, right? We put 4 here. we put 5 on the other spot. Now you see we get 4x, 3x times 5, 15x. Oh, no, hold on, that's not right. That's 19x. That's 19x. That wouldn't work. That wouldn't work. If we choose 2 and 10, 2 times 3, 6, that would be 16. 1 and 20 is too big. So actually, I don't think this is effectable. Oh, yes, it's effectable. So I put a 4 here, 5 here. So switch those two numbers. 3x plus 5 and x plus 4. This is 4. Now this works. 3x times 4, 12x. 5 times x, 5x. So yes, that's 17x. So let me change my color to be blue. So this is 5. And this is 4. All right, 3x plus 5 and x plus 4. That works. Okay, lastly, this 4. So we have 3 terms again. We see x squared is a common factor and 2 as a common factor. So let's factor out 2x squared. Then what's left? We have x squared. We have 5x squared left. 5x squared. Then plus 12x plus 7, right? Because each one we factor out 2x squared. Then 10x raised by 4 divided by 2x squared. We're left with 5x squared. 24x cubed divided by 2x squared, there's 12x left. 14x squared divided by 2x squared, that's 7. Now, we want to factor this. We want to see if this is factorable. So 5x squared, only one way to factor, 5x and x. And then 7, only one way, 1 and 7. But 7 plus 5 is 12. Bingo. Okay. So 2x squared times 5x plus 7 times x plus 1. Let's see why this works. You see 5x times x give us the first term, 5x squared. 7 times 1 give us this 7. The middle term comes from 7x plus 5x, which is 12x. Okay, let's see B. B, we see 3x cubed as a common factor. We always factor out the common factors. So 3x cubed. Then we're left with 5x squared for the first one, minus 13x, second one, plus 6, right? So we factor out the common factors first. Then we think about this trinomial. Trinomial inside parentheses, we have 5x squared. And I think this is factorable. So carry on 3x raised by 3. Then 5x squared, only one way to factor, 5x and x. X. Because middle term is negative, and the constant term 6 is positive. So we know we have two factors of negative. 5x subtract something, x subtract something. Now we need to come up with something, this number multiplied by x, and 5x multiplied by the other number has to add up to be negative 13. So what do? So 6 can be factored as negative 2 and negative 3. Right? Or negative 1, negative 6. Negative 1, negative 6 wouldn't work, right? But negative 2, negative 3. We see if we put a negative 2 here, negative 2 times 5x, that's negative 10x. Then we put a negative 3 here. Negative 3 times x, negative 3x. Negative 3x, negative 10x adds up to be negative 13x. That's it.